I have a little story to tell you about how I got like this with my studio, but I'm not telling you that one now. That'll be released very, very soon. I instead have a little story to tell you about the Project Buster series. About what it really is, what it's about, and what 2026 is going to bring. Hi, my name's Charlotte, and welcome to my studio. So what is the project series really all about? Well, on Instagram one day, I saw another creative who was like, I'm going to whittle down the list of projects I have before I spend any money. And I really took inspiration from this because I have a lot of projects. Friends, I have a lot of projects. And we're not talking art projects. So I have 2 canvases next to me, one you can see in the corner there, that I have yet to finish. I've got one above me. I've got several sketchbooks that I've started pages and I haven't necessarily finished them. And yet, my craft projects stacked higher and higher and higher. So I thought I'm going to do something about it. And that's where the Project Buster series has come about. So my plan was to essentially finish at least 1 or 2 projects that I already had on the go before starting another. 2025 and 2026, the start of it, has hit me a bit dirty, and I say that it's all my own fault. I decided to just start some new projects. So the Project Buster series is going great. I now have more projects to finish. So the original idea of finishing projects before starting other ones kind of went down the bin. However, I have managed to finish a fair few projects in 2025. I had the collection of pumpkins. We've had Plod the Triceratops. We've had a succulent cushion, crocheted cushion. Another crocheted dinosaur, so that's 4. And then number 5 was Jane the Pangolin. And that has all been since the Project Buster series has started. Now, as I speak to you in 2026, I haven't finished a single project. Instead, what I've done is I've started several, I have yet to sort out several, and I've bought the pieces for several more. So shall we have a look at what we've got for 2026? So I'm going to start off with the pile that you can see next to me. Now this is the to fix pile. So number 1, we have this poor crocodile. This is one of my dad's dog toys that has been kind of opened up. So he's asked me to restuff that and re-sew that together. And the leg. I'm sure, like I did the last time I sewed one of the dog's toys together, I will find many, many patches. But looks of it, it's just the back here and just the leg. I'm going to have a little project counter as I try and not throw fluff everywhere up in the corner of the screen. And we're going to see how many projects I have at the end. So that's number 1. Next up is this scarf that I've made. I have the wool here for the sewing together. So this is a knitting project. So I knitted this, only using 1 ball of yarn, or 1 ball of wool, as you may say. And it lasted forever. Knitters, how do you do it? I mean, that's how you use so little wool. I use a lot of wool because I crochet. So if you didn't know, between crochet and knitting is the one that you will have to buy the least wool for. And crochet, you will have to buy so much wool. So this is only 1 ball. So all I need to do, I fixed the holes with one of my friends. I need to sew in my ends, and then I'm going to twist one end so that it becomes, sew it together so it becomes like a snood, and then obviously wear it. So these ones are quite small items, but alas, they're still in the pile. Number 3, I just need to weave in the ends. This is how lazy I am. So this is my first corner to corner crochet blanket. Look at this gorgeous gal. It was really simple to do, and to be honest, quite fun. I forget about the colours on this one, so if I switch ends, you'll be able to see the variegated sort of style. So you can see all the pinks there, as it goes like slightly white, and all through the green. And it is, to be honest, it's really, really lovely. And this type is really warm. So I've got some ends in mid piece of where I went from ball to ball, and then I need to sew in my big ends. Again, it's a little one. However, she is still something to be finished. Now this one, I'm not going to fold out this one. This is the biggest blanket I have ever made to date. When I fix it, I will show you it in full. It's probably about a king size blanket just because of the way that I used acrylic yarn for this, just the way it's stretched out and the way it's been used. However, this is using the zigzag pattern. You can sort of see it here if I lift it up slightly. So here's the edge. You can see how it's sagged, stretched a little. But you can see the zigzag through. And I just need to go through this as I know there's a couple of areas in which I think I've gone from one ball to another ball, or I haven't caught a stitch, and it's just starting to show a little bit of wear. It also smells like the dog because he loves this blanket, as do we. So it also needs to go for a wash, but I machine wash this because it is acrylic. It's done it very well, but as I say, I need to go through, lay it out, and actually go through kind of section by section. I'm just gonna... It's just a massive pile of that blanket. And then my last project that I just need to sew up. I have been creating little tiny preemie baby hats. So this is the smallest size that I've done. So if I hold it up over here, it's literally like, look at the size of my hand. It's not even the size of my palm. And then if I find a big one, can I find a big one? This is where I'm not going to be able to find a big one. But kind of like up to that size. So you can see the difference there. They're so cute. So I've got 39 of these, and all the ends need tying in. All of them. I don't know whether I'm going to make more of these or not. They need to be washed, tied in, and then I'm going to donate them. But there's almost, if I kind of screw up this bag is completely full up to there. So that's how many I've done. And these are tiny, tiny hats. So that goes into the fix pile. From here on out, these are projects that I now need to finish. And then I will show you the projects that I have yet to start. I'm really hoping that these aren't all to finish. So we've started the pile next to me here. Let's see how big it gets. Let's continue that count. So first up is a cross-stitch project that I have inherited from my mother-in-law, and it is tea time. So this one's about a third of the way done. So all this up here is completed, and I've just got to fill the rest. This is a printed pattern, so it just means I can sit down in the evening. I don't have to think about it because I don't have to count stitches. I don't have to look at it and be like, oh, I need to do this one here. I can just sit down and do. So that's a really nice one that I really enjoy doing and that I'm doing for her as well. Next up, I have started a little Yarnamore. So this is by the Knitty Critters, and I love the Knitty Critters. They are such fantastic kits. I was going to say gifts. They are fantastic gifts as well. So this one is one that I got for Christmas. I started the head, and that's about it. So I have the rest of a hippo to do. We haven't even gotten properly into that box yet. I know exactly what this one is. So I went to a festival of yarn and I started doing some weaving. Okay, so this is a weaving project that I started. I'm not going to show you too closely because I think it looks a bit ugly at the moment. Who knows? However, I've got some really soft merino all the way through to like pure wool. I think there's some acrylic in the pile. I've got some glittery wool in there. So I want to finish this off and I want to get it on my wall. I've got loads of different yarns and everything in here. So if I just pick this out, you can see all the colour, all the goodness. I'm just gonna pile that one back in. I had so much fun doing this one, and I've still got the needle in there. So it's kind of like a project all in a bag. I have no idea what this one is actually. Ah, okay, that one hasn't been started. Oh no. Oh, this is another one that just needs fixing up. Whilst I was at that yarn festival, it was at Farnham Maltings. I would highly suggest looking into them if you are a crafter, an artist or anything. However, I did my first weaving. How amazing is this? I had so much fun. You can kind of tell where I started because it was a bit janky. However, it was just so peaceful. I really, really, really enjoyed myself. And the way that we did this, we just sat there and we just fed it through, do the thing, feed it through, do the thing. Oh, I want another colour. It was so peaceful. So what I want to do with this one, I want to make it a wall hanging. So I want to get these pieces around a wooden baton and then hang it from that wooden baton. Dare I say I may be running out of wall space in here, however, it will find a home. That's going into the I need to fix pile because it's pretty much almost there. Now I have no idea what this is. It's crinkling. Not started. Oh gosh. Another printed pattern kit. This one is of the Aurora Borealis. If I've just murdered that, I'm so sorry. You can, that way up. There we go. So you can kind of see where I've been. I've been in the top right and along this side. And then if I flip it over, you can kind of see exactly where I've been. The one thing with this one is that you should be doing it in 3 strands, however I've been doing it in 2, so I have no idea how it's going to look after it's been completed. But as it's another printed one, it is one that I can just sit down and chill with. I don't have to think about it. But because it is slightly bigger than the tea set, it's one of those ones that I've kind of got to have a little bit more brain power because I've got to hold it and all the rest of it. So that's currants. Gosh, I haven't looked at this one in a while. Another cross stitch. This one isn't printed. I don't know why. That's like that. There you go. There are very, very few colours in this cross stitch, and that's because it is gnomes, I want to say. Oh, why is that like that? Flatten it out a bit before I pick it up and show you. It's a Christmas one, so you can see just down below at the bottom there are some like gnomes figures, and there's a whole bunch of them walking along with their little Santa sacks, and it's purple trees and then a nice dark blue sort of ground underneath. I'm having to take this literally 100 by 100 because I tried to do this once and I messed it up. So this one is a little bit of a pain. I actually have to count, sadly. So it's not been touched in a while. I also find it really boring if I have to do purple for like 3 years in a row. So I'm just leaving it a little bit longer. I can't remember where the rest of this one is. However, this one is the RHS mini cross stitches of the flowers of each month. So I've already done a few, and then in here I have 3 more. I have May, June, July. So I have no idea where August onwards is. It's going to be somewhere. It has to be somewhere. However, it's kind of a not started, but the project has been started because these ones haven't been started. So I'm going to put it in the to continue, which is slowly growing. Not started. Oh no, that pile's getting very big. Not started. Oh. Ah, okay, so this is one that I have been doing recently. It's still in the hoop. I should probably take it out of there, but it is of a girl and a Dalmatian here walking along the beach. And I have actually completed all the way up to that line. There's a good like 20 plus rows, and I'm really happy that I sat down and did quite a lot of this over the Christmas period, as it really just allowed me to relax. So then in there is a cross stitch stand, my pattern and everything, and this is in one of my fancier bags. So this one's from Japan last year when we went to the Tom and Jerry 80-year exhibition. So that is a proper in progress. So this is another one that I've inherited from my mother-in-law. I personally haven't looked at this. Oh, okay, it's a tapestry. It's a tapestry. I normally complete these quite quickly, so who knows? Not sure if you'll be able to see this one because they are quite holy tapestries generally. However, it is of a... It's not really a courtyard, it's like a side street, a Mediterranean side street. So the difference between tapestry and cross stitch, for example, is that tapestry, you use tapestry yarn, although I think she is using cross stitch for some reason. And it is only half stitches. So you only go one way instead of the full X like you do in cross stitch, where cross stitch has its name. I'm not sure what she's picked up there, as I think she's picked up embroidery thread instead of tapestry yarn, but it works quite well. So that's the in progress. Ah, this is my biggest cross stitch. It's another printed pattern. You'll see if I hold that up, that's the back. That is how much that I have done. There's a lot of carrying thread here, and artists, you may know exactly what this is. So if I open it up fully, you'll get the crazy dimensions. I think I just, flung something on the floor. This, of course, is Van Gogh, Starry Night. So now I say that, you might be able to see the moon in the middle there, and the swirls starting to happen. This is a huge printed cross stitch. There are, I'm trying to see this backwards. There are 48 different colours, which isn't as many as you may think. However, considering that I have done not that much. I was going to tell you like, oh, this many 100 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Maybe like 2,500 stitches. It carries on forever and ever and ever and ever. So that is my slow burn. Again, I haven't picked it up for a while though. So I think after I've done the other, let me just pick this up. The other cross stitches that are printed, I will probably pick this one back up as my slow burn cross stitch. I don't necessarily always have a slow burn cross stitch on the go. It just happened, especially when I was younger. I just kind of did them all as I went along, but you can see how much I have here. Literally all of that. It's that cross stitch. That's in progress. So I've only got a couple more. I'll show you this one first. This one is probably my longest standing work in progress. And that's because it's on black Aida. So the fabric that you cross stitch on is often Aida, which is the one with the pre-perforated holes. However, look at this beauty. It's been a bit of a pain because it's not always a full cross stitch, it's half stitches. I'm working on black, so I've got to make like double, triple, make sure that I'm doing everything right and that the Aida is sitting flat with my thread and all the rest of it. And I've got to be able to do it in certain lights because of the black fabric. I rolled this one up. So I roll some of my projects up just because I've only been working on one page. So that straight line is because this is a 2-page project. So I've rolled it up to protect what I have already done. And then I pop it back in there. So you can see how effective those colours are on that pattern. That's a continued work in progress. So I have more cross stitches than anything in progress. I find that I do my crochet projects pretty much all in one or on the go. And this is the last one in this box. So this it is that way. This is of a little West Highland Terrier. So I have started the bottom here and I've gone across. I think this is one leg and then this is going to be the second leg, and he kind of like comes up here. Unfortunately, he doesn't look like Oscar, which is a little bit sad, but he is, I think, a unique looking boy. I think he's very handsome compared to other Westies. But I'm really excited to kind of get this one back out as there's some really interesting colours. You can see kind of the greens in the middle there along with the sort of bright browns. This one, I think I remember it being a 6-page. And I photocopied the pattern because I have been colouring out what I have done, so it's a little bit shiny for you. So you can see the kind of amount that I've done. So that's the bottom corner that I've done here, and then it goes across. Let's go up. No, across. So yeah, there's 6 pages of that one. So I haven't done a full page. So that's the 3rd page. So I'm almost all the way across, maybe just short of 200 stitches from being all the way across. But I haven't found the top corner yet. So yes, I find with the cross stitch projects as well, they are much longer in time because, well, they are much longer, but also because they're a little bit more dainty. So that is my projects that I have on the go. Really briefly, in these 2 bags here, these are just the crochet projects that I want to get done early this year. I have a whole lot more cross stitch projects that I have just in boxes. So this is 4 projects. I have 2 scarves and a jumper and a cardigan in there. I have 2 scarves in this one. I have a corner to corner blanket in this one. I have a mini dinosaur in that one, and I have a possible another scarf in that one. Why did I decide to do so many scarves? I honestly lost count about how many projects that was. However, I have quite the piles surrounding me. I really want to be able to get the ones that just need fixing or weaving in the ends done in the next few days, and to be able to share that with you and get some projects done. And then have a look at what I have in terms of my on the go. And I think this year I'm going to allow myself to do a couple of crochet projects here and there, but I might concentrate on the cross stitches for a while. They are longer burners, as I've said, but I really want to be able to get some done because I have so many that I want to start that I've purposely purchased because I love them. And they're big ones as well. Oops. And then of course the project pile that I have yet to start that I've just shared with you. I want to take a couple of these on the plane with me to Japan because it's a 14-hour flight. And do you know how much crochet you can get done in that time? And believe it or not, quite a lot of airlines allow crochet hooks. Check with your airline before you take your favorite one on, because sometimes the airline allows it, but the security doesn't. So do check with airlines and where you're traveling to and from. However, that is an overview of what's coming up in 2026. My aim this year is to finish with only a handful of projects actually on the go. I have other ones that aren't in this room that I've started to prepare for and that I will be sharing with you. But otherwise, I just really want to be able to say, right, what things have I got on the go, and actually be able to list them on one hand. Who knows? But alas, the year is still young, so we may have another 100 projects on our hands. I thank you for joining me today as I go through what crazy situation we are in with the Project Buster, and I hope to see you very, very soon in another episode in my studio.